Good afternoon to everybody there. Welcome to this luckiest and holiest of showcases. I am delighted. I am surprised. I am frustrated to have the wonderful Susanna Maverty of Acaboom here. How are you, Susanna? Are you okay?
I'm all right, thank you, Simon. Pleased to be here.
Yeah, you had any technical issues today, Susanna? Any technical?
I think you may have had a few issues getting us live today.
No. There's no issues here. Sorry to our waiting public, but Susanna, last week you had a fantastic week, didn't you? You actually won. You became shortlisted. First of all, congratulations, Acaboom, for was it the medium category? What category at EA Masters was it? Supplier category?
We were in the top 10 for marketing in terms of innovations.
No, you got in that, but you also got in. You were shortlisted as well, weren't you? As well, I just didn't know whether it was the medium or I think it was the medium category, wasn't it? But anyway, yeah. So that was so. Yes, you had double plaudits there. You were shortlisted in top 10 ideas in marketing at EA Masters, shortlisted for Supplier of the Year, and today you couldn't even log into a. So you're going to win the inaugural Cock of the Week. Right, enough of that. We are now going to tap into something quite exciting, actually. We had you, obviously, on our first showcase all those many months ago. And I think you gave a really nice overview of, obviously, what Acaboom's about. And I think it's fair to say, who could have guessed what sort of perfect timing that was for the industry, considering everything that was obviously happening and continued to happen with the lockdown. I think, is it fair to say that actually Acaboom was the right product for the right time?
Yeah, I mean, I think with lockdown and I think with people having to socially distance, it's become particularly difficult for estate agents to build a rapport right now with vendors and landlords. In particular, when they get to the appraisal now, you can't really leave paper behind and leave behind. So Acaboom really came into its own with, the way it's so digital and enabling you to really show your clients what sort of service you offer and justify your fee with socially distancing still. So I think it fell very well at the time.
You were telling me some, whether I'm allowed to tell this story or not, I am going to tell it. You were telling me some fairly amusing stories about people that were going, oh, yeah, we want to be able to leave, but we want to be able to leave behind the brochures. We want to be able, a lot of these people are senior OAPs, and we want to be able to leave them all our magazines and brochures. And you've had to be quite diplomatic, haven't you, in pointing out that that's really not the best advice and that you could potentially be killing your clients?
I think what you're referring to is, and some of the demonstrations and things, what we advise is, of course, that at the minute we shouldn't be leaving Rightmove best price guides behind or anything really for anyone while we're in the situation we're in. But a lot of them do say, oh, but with their elderly, we really do want to leave something. And I'm like, if they're elderly, you definitely don't want to be leaving anything. That's even worse. So, yes, certainly at the moment. I'm not sure it's amusing, but...
No, it is to me in my mawkish nature. I just love the idea of the son, estate agent kills pensioner through COVID. That's just waiting to come out, isn't it, in the mix? And anyway, as long as you're not doing it, that's a benefit anyway. So that's good. Okay, so I think we mentioned it was the right product for the right time. I mean, actually, you had a stellar sales period, didn't you? Throughout that sales period, I think you actually outsold the year before when it was back in the world of normality, didn't you?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, good. Well, we don't all like to benefit from pandemics, but if that's the way you've got to do it, then fair enough. But talk to us about, though, because you guys went into massive overdrive as well, didn't you, in terms of kind of developments? You really took the opportunity to get down, look at what the application did, and rethink everything you were doing. Talk to us about some of your innovations that you've got coming out, or indeed releasing.
Well, I think, why we were here today was to talk about Acaboom in Your Pocket, which was the latest app that we've released. So I think, that's ultimately what we're here to talk about.
Good. Okay. So it does what it says on the tin. Yeah. So talk us through what problem this was solving then, basically.
Sure. Well, I mean, I have a presentation that we can go through if you want to go through that.
Okay, even better. I love the idea after all your technical issues that you still have the balls, the gumption to say, "Come on, let's do a live demo." Great. Okay, then.
Not a live demo. Oh, so I mean, essentially, I was just going to start with introducing what Acaboom really offers and the kind of the background on it, because I think you're making an assumption here. Everybody's watched the last Acaboom spotlight we did, which was back in April. So, and I'm sure they haven't. So, essentially,
what happens is, Susanna, is everybody before they come on these, they watch the backlog of content so that they're fully updated. That's what my members do.
I think maybe in your world they do, Simon, but in reality, potentially not. So what I was just going to kind of go through here is just talking about what we already know about the marketplace. Yeah. And what we're seeing here is this is how long it takes people to actually make a decision. So when you go out to do a market appraisal, ideally you'd win it all on the day, wouldn't you? But that only happens 7% of the time. You can see here 68% of people do take up to a month. Now, the average agent will really only follow up with a client for sort of 4 to 6 weeks. And after that, kind of they've got lost in the CRM system and they're really looking at the new ones that have come into the diary. So with Acaboom, what we really focus on is a journey with the client and the client experience. So how can we impress that client before we get there? How can we impress the client during it? How can we really stand out from the crowd immediately afterwards and stay in touch with them really for a 12-month journey? That's what really Acaboom's all about. And we do that by design, creating bespoke presentation material for the agent to use at those various stages. But of course, there's a lot more to it than that. And essentially what our latest release is Acaboom in your pocket. So what this means, even for clients already using Acaboom today, it's just become more mobile. So rather than valuers being tied to the office, a desk, a laptop, and really having to do preparation from that kind of capacity and check emails all the time, which, let's face it, we get an awful lot of those. We've launched the app to be able to walk an agent through being able to do a market appraisal very simply. So what you're seeing here on screen is you can see there's 3 notifications that have popped up by having the app on the phone. So for example, you can see at the top there, 16 Long Lunch Drive. If that's a property that we're about to go and do a market appraisal for, you can see it's popping up and saying swipe to read the property information. So literally pop up 15 minutes before your appointment, and what you can do from there is get information both about the property and the person you're about to meet. So for example, this particular property was 72 Shaftesbury Avenue. We can see when it was last sold, how much they paid for that property, what the online valuation looks like there. So basically what the client's already seen on the internet, not always correct. So it's good to be prepared in that capacity. We also find a street view of the property, a map view, directions, and a social media report on that person. So essentially you'd be able to see things like their Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn accounts, as long as, of course, they're out in the public domain. But what this really should deliver for the agent is being able to see a little bit about that person. Maybe they've got mutual connections with them, or maybe you can see how they work, or just really help them to build a stronger rapport on the day and increase that conversion rate on the day from 7%, so that we can hopefully win a bit more business speedily, if you like. But essentially it's only like old-fashioned agency where you walk in, you see a set of golf clubs in the corner, and that's what you strike a conversation up about. But with these kind of tools, we're just delivering it to you in the modern day way, just before the appointment, all digitally. So I mean, that's the first step to kind of Acaboom in your pocket, if you like. I mean,
just a couple of questions there. Could you just go back to the donut at the beginning as well? Just skip it back a few paces there. I mean, first of all, obviously, it's an open joke that I love a donut. But what I really love about that is that actually you make that point that actually agents are all over that heavy blue section, aren't they? It's right in front of them. It's still tangible. They can still taste the listing there, can't they? But quite quickly afterwards, and it's still a massive sizable, what's that, probably a quarter of it, I can't add up the figures, but a quarter or a third of it is where traditionally people start to just lose interest, and actually they start to think they're tire kickers, they're not doing it. But actually you're showing there that it is a hugely still important part of the pipeline, isn't it?
Absolutely. Well, of course, that's 32% of the business that you could win. So
okay, and then just one. Did I see you as well? Do you actually? There was a Valpal thing up there. Do you actually integrate with Valpal then as well?
That's just the online valuation score for the property.
Okay.
That you can do there.
Yeah. Okay. So you pull that score from Valpal?
Yeah, you can see it says powered by Valpal just there.
Okay.
Where it's come from. That's right.
Cool. Okay. No, that just makes sense. Okay. Cool. No, I'm getting it now.
Jolly good. Okay. Shall I? I'll move on, shall I?
Waiting for you. It's your webinar, Susanna. Over to you.
Sorry, I was just seeing if you had any more questions. But so you can see here on this slide, we're talking about not all estate agents are the same, or are they? Now, really, when I demonstrate Acaboom, I often ask agents to think about the client experience and forget their agents and really think about what the client sees. Now, typically, if I went out today and booked 3 appointments with 3 different estate agents, my journey, my customer experience is often the same. The first thing that I'll typically get is an appointment confirmation that's generated from a CRM. Pre-COVID, we did see a lot of pre-delivered brochures, but obviously that's really not a good idea at the moment, and that has reduced dramatically. At the market appraisal itself, the most common thing I'll see is like a Rightmove best price guide, perhaps some kind of pack. After that, nearly every agent in the country, in fact 91% of them, will go back to the office and create what's known as the good old-fashioned valuation letter. Typically that's emailed nowadays, but really it just outlines the fees and what it's being valued at. So typically that's quite normal. As a vendor now, or landlord, I've received 3 very samey looking kind of letters really. Then, as I was alluding to earlier, I'll get some telephone follow-up calls for sort of 4 to 6 weeks, and if they don't convert, typically I don't hear any more from the agent. So really the Acaboom experience is about enhancing every single one of those stages. So, you know, just starting from the beginning really with the appointment confirmation. To share a stat, I know you like a stat, 84% of agents send an appointment confirmation out without any kind of images or really strong introduction to the valuer. So with Acaboom, you know, we would create something to really wow the audience. And, you know, design is subjective, but this isn't a quick example here from Weber's. You can see this they send out by email and text message. You've got Kevin, who we're meeting here, about Kevin, date and time of the appointment. And we've got some other slides that we've created that are very visual to really introduce the client and really make sure that they're really, really impressed by Weber's before they even get there. But just to show you how distinctive design can be, you know, this is exactly the same concept, but this is one from James Anderson. And you can see we've got a menu on the left, and the client can meet Michael here, learn a little bit about the company, what to expect on the day, and including sort of COVID regulations and stuff, which is only professional nowadays to be talking about who's coming, what you're going to do when you get there, and how you are covering things like social distancing. They've included videos and things in theirs as well, which you can do a personal introduction to the valuer, or of course it could be about the company, completely up to you. So every single design is very different, but it's about standing out from the crowd beforehand. And where that fits in with Acaboom in your pocket is, of course, when that client actually opens that as well, it does mean that you're going to receive a notification on your phone to say that they've read that. So hopefully you've read about them, they've read about you, and you've done all that before you sat in your car, all on your mobile phone.
And that's important, isn't it? Just going back to some of the core sort of functionality of Acaboom is that essentially, you know, it isn't all standardized templates. It is giving your agency clients the potential to showcase themselves in the best possible way, in a unique templated way, isn't it? So that really, even if you have sort of 2 members in a town using Acaboom, to all intents and purposes, they might not even know that they were using the same application, because actually how they choose to market themselves is completely different.
That's right. It's completely bespoke, every single build. Okay,
cool. Yeah, that makes sense.
So what I was moving on to here is talking about the market appraisal itself. We call it the pitch. Now, 78% of agents aren't really using kind of evidence and images at an appraisal, and that's harder than ever now, because how do you do that? You can't really be taking brochures in, bits of paper, things to leave behind. So what we've really innovated to have is the app, where you can show a digital presentation on something like a laptop or on an iPad device. But ideally, you know, you can put this on their device as well. So very easy for you to be able to kind of share it so that there's no transmission whatsoever. Now, these presentations are all, again, as you were just highlighting, built completely bespoke. But what they really allow the client to do is share complete comparables with the client. So, for example, if I show you on here, You can see a completely different design again. But if we went to have a look at, say, comparable properties in here, it allows you as the agent to walk through all the photos of the properties and all the floor plans without an internet connection, but again, without showing any other kind of agent's branding or any portal branding. You're doing this all within your own brand, live with the client, without having to worry again about any internet connections or anything, and having a digital experience.
Yeah, and that's vital, isn't it? I mean, for all the talk of, you know, people are, it's the Apple announcement today, and they're going to be talking proudly about 5G phones and everything else. Frankly, a large part of the country will just laugh at you. Never mind 5G, 4G, or 3G, and actually, even if you go into the wrong type of home, you know, with thick walls or something like that, that can throw out your cellular signal. And if you're basing your whole strategy on being mobile, you can look a bit amateurish, can't you? A bit like in a cafe where people hold the card machine up and they're trying to get a signal for it. The lovely thing I like about Acaboom and solutions like it is you've taken that kind of that into account and said, look, you don't need a connection to make this work in the right way.
Yeah, I mean, the reality of it is, though, Simon, most people aren't relying on a connection at the moment. Most of them are taking paper in. Are typically taking something like that. So really, this is taking them digital, but I'm really just highlighting the fact that, well, a lot of them aren't digital is for those reasons. Most of them are just taking a single image of a property in, and they can't really justify the condition. I mean, the same thing is kind of with sold properties here. If you go in, again, it doesn't really tell you who sold it, but you're able, again, to walk through the photos, even if you didn't sell it. We also put things like some house data and things to potentially go through. So if I was kind of with you today and you lived in this area, I'd be able to tell you exactly how many homes were sold in your area in the last 12 months, what that looks like year on year, what the average sales price is for your particular area, the most money anybody spent in the last 3 months, but most importantly, what the house price growth has been doing. Now, I would know how long you've lived there because Acaboom in your pocket told me that before I came in. So I'd be able to say, I know you've lived here 5 years, Simon. I know you paid X. And typically the area's seen a 16% increase. But of course, that is property specific, which is why we've prepared comparables today to talk you through that, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
So really what we're really saying here is we're providing a presentation so the client can really walk through comparables as well, but any bespoke information they want to show. So for example, if I show you another one, this is one of our most recent presentations from Location, but you know, they might want to really go through the differences about what differentiates them, or they might want to show some statistics or something about, you know, what they offer. And again, it allows you to kind of show visuals and things like that to really get those key messages across when you're at the actual appointment too.
Okay, yeah, great.
Okay, so that's using Acaboom in your pocket, obviously, at the appointment, and ideally that would work very nicely on a tablet or something, again, all within the app. But the next thing is really talking about after the market appraisal, arguably the most important part. Only 7% of people have actually instructed at this point. So what we send next really should have that wow factor. However, we know for a fact 91% of agents don't do that. They are sending that good old-fashioned kind of letter out of the CRM that's untracked, imageless, pretty much just says this is how much I'm going to charge you and this is what I'm valuing it at.
Boring as shite. Boring. Can't tell the difference.
It's what nearly, you know, every agent does. So with Acaboom, you wouldn't be doing that. You really would be sending that bespoke proposal to them. And it couldn't be easier either. Rather than going back to the office and printing things off or, you know, creating things on a laptop, literally with Acaboom in your pocket, as soon as you actually come out of the appointment, get back in your car, it will be popping up saying on your phone as a notification, do you want to send your proposal to Mrs. Collins? You swipe, it will take you to this template, and that obviously is bespoke too. You change the price, you change the fee, and literally you press send. This is a 10-second job on your phone, and literally what's going to be delivered is a full bespoke proposal that looks just like this. So, you know, there is no kind of being wedded to the office, if you like, and having to go back and create these long things, but you're getting something, and that's the valuation letter in this example I've got here, but that has just literally been created all from your phone like that in your car, but the client's receiving something that looks really impressive about why they should use you.
So one of the things, there have been people that have tried to do kind of Acaboom style solutions, but first of all, they don't all, they're not property specific, and they don't, they're more just about a presentation tool. But crucially as well, there is that they do require you to go back to the office, spend a lot of time actually putting them together. Whereas what you're saying there is literally on leaving the appointment itself, adding a couple of the key, obviously, elements that you've taken from the appointment, you can have that back to them in the quickest possible time, while it's at the freshest possible time in their mind.
Absolutely. I mean, the whole idea of Acaboom in your pocket is you really are just on the go with this software. You've got your entire market appraisal pipeline in your pocket, and it's telling you everything you need to do with it. Read before you go in the property, use it at the property, and then immediately send a very nice and personalized bespoke proposal with all the comparables in it, all the statistics in it, and surrounded by all the reasons they should use you. It looks impressive, but it's even less work for you. And then, of course, as we move on, anybody who attended EA Masters last week would know that Seth Godin said 78% of agents or clients buy from the first company to respond. So the next thing really is about making sure that you're catching people at the right time, which again, with Acaboom in your pocket, every time somebody reads their proposal, when they're in decision-making mode, whether it's a week after the market appraisal or indeed if it's 3 months later, you can see the second notification down here. Mrs. Cottrell is reading her proposal. Swipe to call now will literally give you the phone number, when you met them, the address, and all the comparables you showed her at the time, along with what status they are today. So you can even have a good chat with that client at the right time about things that are going on in the marketplace. But again, we've spoon-fed you that through Acaboom in your pocket. So there's really no, again, kind of digging into CRM systems, looking for phone numbers, opening laptops. You can be sat on the sofa at home and, it's literally telling you what exactly needs to be actioned.
Just go back to that photo, the previous one. I can recognise Brian's hips from anywhere. That's by the way, if you're that much of a fuckwit that you carry your phone around in your pocket like that, you deserve not to be mobile for too much longer. Anyway,
just exactly how many iPhones and iPads have you broken, Simon?
Enough that Tim Cook's got me on his special list anyway.
I've had 2 visits to the Apple Store recently, so I think you'll find one to talk.
This is about Acaboom, Susanna. Stay focused. I know that you drift off easily and look at squirrels and things. Okay, this is fantastic, though, genuinely, because what this is, you made that point, is kind of breaking that link. I see it as, you're cutting that umbilical cord with the office, isn't it, where you've always had to in the past get back, race there as quickly as possible to get onto the CRM software or whatever else, do your presentation and everything. But with this, it's even better than what I think most people talk about when they talk. We've got our friends, obviously, Agent OS, who used to talk me and still do about, obviously, my previous software not being fully cloud. But what a lot of people talk about when they were talking about cloud was really just about being able to access it on a mobile device. Yet it wasn't optimized for mobile. What you guys have done here is use things like the notifications on mobile devices, as most of us use apps and things like that in a day-to-day sense, haven't you? And in that way, you're going to be making those valuers and anyone, in fact, using this just far more productive.
Yeah, I mean, I speak to obviously valuers all the time that essentially are having to go into the office to do these kind of things on a regular basis, get in early and kind of generate paperwork, and really finding it perhaps hard to kind of stay on top of their pipelines. Their follow-up lists become huge, whereas Acaboom is about keeping that, really all mobile and not forcing people to be constantly checking emails and going back and creating stuff.
Yeah, we got a couple of, just last time you were on, James Gibbon, fantastic agent there, talks about you in the reviews, the best prop tech around, a must have in any business that quotes. Nice one there. We've also, I was going to say, obviously, the likes of the kind of the broker models, the U-Moves, the Keller Williams. This is just a game changer, but actually it's just for anyone who's vaguely mobile. And if you're a value and you're not mobile, then you're doing something wrong, really, aren't you? So Acaboom is a game changer. It gives us a professional edge, helps us wow our customers, and facilitated a boom in new business growth. We wouldn't be without it. Steve Hay from U-Move Maidenhead. Okay, and then Dan from Kirkodds. Acaboom has been an invaluable tool which has increased both conversion rates and fees. Client feedback we receive is also fantastic. I mean, there's a varied spread there, but these are all great agencies. Talk to me about the client feedback. What are the clients telling you? You know, what are you hearing from the actual the actual valuers themselves? Are they raving about this? I'm guessing they are.
Well, Acaboom in Your Pocket was just released at EA Masters last week, so I think it might be a little bit soon for you to ask me for feedback on that specifically. It's just kind of come out now, but
did you say specifically then?
No, specifically. I know okay. You like options and things, but no, specifically. So yeah, you've thrown me now. Sorry. What?
No, I would do. I mean, it's fine that it's fine that you wanted to launch this at EA Masters rather than on Kerfuffle. I'm not bitter or twisted about that, but that's okay. So, what is the plan for this? Is this something that existing clients get as a paid extra module? Will they? Okay, so or is it included? Is it included just standard?
All included, yeah.
Okay, so if they're a member of Kerfuffle, they get this included free of charge. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. There. No, so you are just genuinely giving this away as a free upgrade to your clients, yeah?
Yes, it's part of the Acaboom service, absolutely.
Okay, great, absolutely fantastic. Cool. Are those the slides done? Have you present? Okay, no, it looks really, really good. It looks really good. Few questions here, just on a technical level, which I know you're not very good at. All devices or just Apple? How have you made it?
It'll work in Google Play or the Apple Store for the app itself.
Okay, and if those clients of yours do want to get it, do they get in contact with you on support? What's the way they onboard this, get this started?
Sure, well, they can just go straight in and download it now. It's available there. But if they are a client already, I would encourage them to have an account with you. We contact them all the time trying to book in an account with you for them with Emily, their account manager, to kind of go through this, and she can kind of guide them through it. So I'd recommend download it, but also get in touch with Emily and make sure that you have that account with you on it.
It doesn't look, I mean, really though, you know, you'd have to have a bit of an IQ gap if you couldn't get your head around this straight away, couldn't you? This is plug and play stuff from what you've shown us there. It seems so simple to use.
It is very straightforward, but all the same, I think run through it with somebody on the main benefits. We're happy to support any kind of free training and sessions in that respect, just to make sure that you are, getting the most out of the software.
Yeah, I suppose if you were able to log into a really simple sort of online presentation tool at 1 o'clock, then you should probably get some support or something like that, yeah?
Absolutely, yeah. You would think so.
Excellent. So, and then for those people that obviously you challenged me rather cheekily earlier, saying that obviously some people might not know about Acaboom. Are those people that want to get to know more about it? What do they do? Just get in contact with you. Of course, they can go via the Kerfuffle website. Have you got a link?
Yeah, I sent you the Calendly link. So I don't know if you want to pop that in the chat thread so everyone can.
Oh, great. It's up to me to do, is it? Brilliant.
So anyone can book directly into my diary for a demonstration. No problem. You can just click the link that Simon's providing and go straight in and book an appointment. I'd love to show you the full system, because really today we've concentrated on a very small sector. Oh, I've lost you, Simon.
Okay, and talk us through. You what?
Sorry, you broke up now. I didn't hear any of that.
You lost.
You froze.
Oh, I was just going to tell you that. Oh well, never mind. I was just going to say, while I was looking for that, because I just saw Mr. Woodcock pop up there. There was a really nice testimonial we were chatting through offline about what they've been able to, what they've got out of Acaboom itself. Do you want to just give an overview of their statistics in terms of how it's helped their business?
Yeah, I thought that was the testimonial you were going to show, actually, because that was our testimonial of the week on Kerfuffle. I don't know if you've got it there, because you were showing some of the other testimonials. That's the one you were going to show, because they've increased their average fees this year by 4.75%. And, you know, they really did put that down to Acaboom and said what a great investment it's been. I think more than anything, it's really helped them through the lockdown period as well. And how Simon says it, if he's still watching, to steal his words, he said it was the bridge kind of between not just telling your clients what you offer, but really showing them. I think that's one of the beauties of Acaboom. Do you want me? I can put the link in if you want, Simon, for you. I don't know how you. I don't know where I do that, but I can.
That would. Can you see the comments box on the right-hand side?
Yeah, chat with the host and other guests. Yeah, no problem.
Just pop it right in there, as they say, without any fanars, and we will pop this out. But we'll send out an email anyway, including all this, and pop it into the various groups. But look, critically, just go to the Acaboom landing page on obviously on Kerfuffle. You'll be able to see obviously all of the reviews. You are, I think you're still 5-star, aren't you? You're still a 5-star.
That's correct. Yeah.
Good. Lots of reviews there, lots of feedback, and of course we upload and put all of those. We put all of the videos that we do with you guys up there as well to as a resource. So that's great. So you must be feeling pretty chipper about yourself then, in terms of this latest bit of enhancement. What else have you got in your? What else has Brian got whirring away in the research labs?
Well, that would be telling. I think we've got a lot in the pipeline to come, but really what we're concentrating on at the moment is rolling this out. So that's the main focus right now. I've sent you the Calendly link, by the way, again in the private chat, but it won't let me comment in your fantastic streamware software.
You're so bitter, honestly. This in terms of. Well, here's that. Obviously, the Simon Woodcock testimonial there. So that's perfect. Great. And here we go, just to show everything's perfect. And that will go out to everybody there. So yeah, just if you want to just pop in the Calendly link there, pop in with Susanna. It should only take about 20 minutes, but obviously she likes to talk, which is why it's 60 minutes long. I think, in all honesty, Susanna, you got to be applauded for this. I assume it was Brian's idea. This sort of thing is exactly what the market's after, isn't it? It has been very frustrated, I think, with what a lot of other CRMs have not been able to give them these kind of front office tools for the appraisal itself. Look, I mean, you need to obviously I think we need to have a panel show with a few of your users once this has been released out there in the wild, because I'm sure they will really be able to give us some strong testimonials then as well, won't they?
Yeah, no problem. Well, seeing as we have Mr. Woodcock watching, I feel like he wants to be a volunteer for that. So yeah, let's get that set up.
He's the absolute definition of a mobile warrior. So there you are. Yeah. Okay, Susanna, absolutely fantastic. Thank you for that. You haven't got anything else to no more secret little displays now?
No, nothing else today. No, thank you though.
Okay, well, look, I'll leave you to try and go log into your next webinar. You've got about another 20 minutes, so that's just enough time for you. Okay. Stay good. Bye-bye. Thank you very much, Susanna.